Namaste. Thank you for coming for this Strength in One class today. We're going to go ahead and open up our playlist and we'll hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. So we're going to come into our mats in the middle of the mat, facing the front of the mat. And we're going to come into either accomplished or easy pose, Sukhasana, or if you would like, you can come into a half lotus, whichever foot on top or whichever foot underneath is fine. Whichever one you would like to do is good. Just taking a nice full breath here, drawing the shoulders down the spine. On your next inhale, we'll bring the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, taking a side bend to the left. Reaching that upper arm nice and long overhead, possibly even coming down to the left elbow. Inhaling all the way up with both arms. Exhale, side bend to the opposite side. And again, you want to reach that arm long overhead, possibly even bring the elbow all the way down to the mat. Inhaling the arms overhead once more. On our next exhale, we're going to twist to the left. You can bring the hands and wrap them around the body, or you can bring one to the floor, one to the knee, wherever you're more comfortable in this twist. Being sure not to crank the neck too far back. On your next inhale, we'll open the arms nice and wide. Exhale. Spinal twist to the opposite side. Inhaling, bringing the arms all the way overhead. On an exhale, we're going to bend forward, reaching the arms far forward, feeling that stretch in the back of our glutes and our outer thighs. Maybe crawl the hands just a little bit farther forward, letting your head be heavy. On your next inhale, begin walking the hands back, bringing the torso up, and then we're going to switch our feet. So we'll come into that half lotus in the opposite way, or that accomplished pose with the opposite feet. So inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale, this time we'll take that side bend to the right. Reaching that arm long overhead, elbow maybe drops to the mat. Inhaling the arms overhead once more, side bend, opposite side. Nice full breath. Inhaling the arms overhead once more. Exhale, then nice and wide. Take a full breath here. And on your next exhale, we'll twist to the right. Again, you can bring your hands wherever they're comfortable. On your next inhale, we'll bring the arms nice and wide. Exhale, spinal twist, opposite side. Make sure to still be sitting nice and tall in the twist. And on your next inhale, we'll come back to center. If you're in half lotus, go ahead and switch to that Sukhasana. And then we'll begin pushing ourselves forward, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Knees will come underneath the hips, and we'll come into a tabletop here, taking some cat-cow breaths. So on your inhale, tailbone comes up, belly drops down, head comes up. And then on your exhale, tailbone rounds under, back rounds up, head drops down. We'll go ahead and do a few more of those, moving with your own breath. next time you come into a neutral back, we're going to inhale, bringing the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands back down behind you, supporting yourself on your hips in whatever way is most comfortable. And then on your next inhale, we'll roll the shoulders back, drop the head, push the hips forward. If you're here and you'd like to go a little further, you can reach down for the heels. And the heels can be low with the tops of the feet on the mat, or you can tuck your toes under to lift the heels up a little bit more. On your next inhale, we'll begin releasing the arms all the way up, walking the hands forward on the mat, sinking the heart down towards the floor, hips stay up, open the knees, heart melting pose. And if you'd like, you can stay up on the fingertips, or you can drop the arms all the way down to the mat, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Then begin walking your hands back underneath your chest. And we're going to sit down on our heels, making sure our heels are splayed out to the side, coming into a hero pose. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale, take a side bend to the left. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale as taking a side bend to the right. Inhaling the arms overhead, exhale, taking a spinal twist to the left, arms come almost down to the floor. Inhaling arms overhead, exhale, spinal twist to the right. And we're going to do all of that once more. Inhaling the arms overhead, exhale, side bend to the left. Inhaling the arms up, exhale, side bend to the right. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale, spinal twist to the left. Inhale them up. Exhale, side twist to the right. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward, bringing the hands down. Shoulders are going to come up over the wrist. We're up on the knees. We're going to step one foot all the way back, coming up onto the toes. Other foot will come all the way back, up on the toes as well. From here, we're just going to push forward on our toes, bringing our shoulders over our fingertips, and then go right back. Pushing forward again, and then right back. We're going to push forward one more time here, and now we're going to change it up a little bit. As we push forward, we're going to lower or bend our elbows just a tad, and then push back into that plank. Drop to the knees, push back into a child's pose. Go ahead and come up into a tabletop, and if you'd like, you can just take a glance at what I'm doing. We're just going to be doing another vinyasa, but this time we're going to add a modified chaturanga, which is what we were doing when we pushed forward into that plank and then slightly bent the elbows. Of course, you can, if you don't want to be doing that chaturanga at all. When you come down to the plank, you can drop to the knees, bring your bottom up, and then chin and chest to the mat, coming up into cobra. That is definitely still an option. If you'd like to try that modified chaturanga, we can go ahead and do that. So you would come into a plank, push forward, bend the elbows, then drop slightly to the knees, flip the feet, pressing into upward facing dog. So I'll do that one more time. So you be in your plank, you push forward, bend the elbows, flip the feet, come all the way up for upward facing dog. So let's go ahead and try that together. So we'll come into that plank, push forward for our chaturanga, lower down, and then press up into upward facing dog. All right, so let's go ahead and push back for just one more short child's pose. Inhaling the torso forward, tuck the toes under, walk the feet all the way forward. We'll take a forward fold here. On your next inhale, we're just going to come up to a halfway lift. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to your your shins, reaching that head far forward, or you can bring your fingertips to the floor, reaching down to the floor, gaze comes forward. On your next inhale, we're going to bend the knees slightly, rounding the back, coming all the way up to Tadasana. Feet can be together or comfortably apart. Shoulder blades are drawn back. Shoulders are drawn back. Shoulder blades are drawn down along the spine. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms overhead. Exhale as you sink down into a chair pose. Pushing our hips back, and then inhale right back up, hands overhead. Exhale, sinking down once more. If you would like, you can keep your hands at heart center. Inhaling right back up. Hands can stay at heart center or be overhead. Exhale, sinking down into our chair pose of Katasana. Inhaling right back up. We're going to do that same thing one more time. And then we come right back up. From here, we are going to bring our hands to heart center if they're not already there. We're going to shift our balance onto the left foot and begin bringing our right foot up for tree. Your tree can be with your foot on the floor, heel against the, above the heel, above the ankle, I'm sorry. You can bring it against the calf, or you can hold onto your ankle and bring it up into your sacral area. Breathe right here, finding that unmoving focal point. We're going to bring that foot up. We're going to cross the ankle over the knee. Hands come to heart center if they're not already there. Exhale as you sink down into figure four. So it's like that chair pose, but with one leg up. Then on your next inhale, we'll release that foot down and stand up. On your next exhale, we're going to sink down into our chair. Inhaling right back up. Exhale, sinking down. We'll do this a few more times. You have that option to bring the hands overhead. Last one. And as we rise to standing, we bring the hands to heart center and we move into that tree pose once more. And as we release that foot, we'll cross the ankle over the opposite leg just above the knee. And hands at heart center. We sink down into our figure four, standing pigeon pose. And we release that foot down, and this time we're going to take a forward fold, folding all the way forward, taking any movements here that feel good. When you're ready, we'll begin bending our knees, bringing the hands all the way down to the mat. We're going to walk the feet all the way back and bring the knees down to the mat, coming into tabletop. From here, we'll find that perfect plank pose. Send one foot back, coming onto the toes, other foot back on the toes, and then press back into downward facing dog. Feet should be about hip distance apart, hands are shoulder distance apart. From here, we're going to inhale, lifting our right leg all the way up. Maybe take some ankle rolls here if that feels good. And then begin bending the knee and bring that foot down, planting it between your hands. Then when you're ready, we're going to spin that back heel down. Inhale, sweeping both of the arms up for warrior one. Shoulder blades are still drawn down along the spine. Crown of the head is reaching high. On your next exhale, we're going to turn the torso and bring the arms down to the sides for warrior two. Gaze is still over that front arm. And begin tilting the arms back, taking a peaceful warrior. Right arm reaches long overhead, gaze is up. And then we're going to bring that right elbow down to the right knee, left arm comes long overhead, extended side angle. And then on the next inhale, we'll come right back up to our warrior two, arms parallel to the ground, gaze is overhead. On your next exhale, we're going to begin cartwheeling all the way down. Send that front foot back, coming to our plank, and then we're going to make our way forward and down, either through that chaturanga or the 8-point ashtanga, coming into cobra or upward facing dog, and then we push right back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep the left leg up, taking any ankle movements that feel good here. And then begin bending that knee, and we're going to bring it forward, planting it between the hands. When you're ready, spin that back heel down. Inhale, lifting the arms all the way up overhead for warrior one. Nice full breath, shoulders are pulled down away from the ears. On your next exhale, we'll turn the torso, opening the arms nice and wide for warrior two. Gaze is still overhead. Inhaling, we'll tip the arms back for peaceful warrior, reaching that left arm all the way back. Exhale, bringing the elbows to the knee, reaching the right arm long overhead. Inhaling, coming back up for our warrior two. Torso is perpendicular to the floor while the arms are parallel. On your next exhale, we'll cartwheel all the way down. Sending that left leg back, we hit our plank, push forward and down, coming into cobra or upward facing dog. And as you exhale, we'll push back into downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and walk the feet all the way forward. Coming into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending the knees, we come all the way up. Arms will come overhead, straighten the knees. Like back bend as the palms come together. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a nice breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms all the way overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, arms come wide, forward fold. Bring the hands all the way down to the floor. Step the right foot all the way back for plank, left foot all the way back for plank. Push forward and lower down, chaturanga or cobra. Chaturanga or ashtanga, cobra or upward facing dog, and then you push back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep the right leg up. Exhale as you bring that leg forward, planting it between the hands. Spin that back heel down. Inhaling the arms overhead, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, elbow comes to knee, arm comes overhead. Inhaling back for our warrior two. Exhale, arms come all the way down, send that front foot back, lower down to the mat in whatever way you choose, coming up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling as you push back into downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up. Exhale as you bring it forward, planting it between the hands. Spin that back heel down. Inhaling, we bring the arms all the way overhead. Exhale as you turn for warrior two. Inhaling, we take our peaceful warrior. Left arm reaches all the way back behind. Inhaling as you, exhaling as you come into extended side angle. And then we come back into our warrior two. Exhaling as you make your way all the way back down to the mat. Send that foot back, lower down, pushing through to upward facing dog or cobra. And then we push back into downward facing dog. From here, we're just going to step the feet forward. And take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, bending the knees, we come all the way up. Arms come overhead, straightening the knees. Hands come together. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking any breaths that you need to take here. We're going to begin shifting our balance to our right foot. We're going to bring that left foot up for a tree, but we're going to do it against the calf with our big toe against our calf. So we're going to do a big toe against the calf rather than the whole foot against the leg. Another full breath here. And then we're going to take a diagonal step back, bringing the arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Reaching the arms all the way up. Inhaling the arms all the way forward again, bringing that arms overhead. Hands will come to heart center, and we bring that foot back for our tree. I'm going to do that same thing again. So we step that foot back on the diagonal as the arms come overhead. Exhale, folding forward, bringing the arms all the way up. Inhaling, bringing the arms back down, bringing the torso up, arms come overhead. Exhale as you bring the hands to heart center and push forward, bringing that toe to the calf again. We'll do the same thing one more time. Reach that foot back. We're up for our curtsy. We exhale, bowing down, arms come overhead. Inhaling, rising from our bow. Hands come to heart center. We push that back foot forward, coming to that tree. And exhale that foot down. Taking a moment. We begin shifting our balance to the left leg, bringing the right foot up for that tree with the toe against the calf. One more full breath. And then we'll begin to take that diagonal step back with the right foot. Arms come overhead. Exhale as you bow forward. Arms come all the way up over your back. Inhaling as you bring the arms down. Torso comes up. Arms come overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then we bring that foot to the calf again. We'll do that same thing 2 more times. Arms are overhead as the foot comes back. Exhale, folding forward, arms reach up. Rising out of our bow. Hands come to heart center, take that tree. Last time. Moving with your own breath. And then when you come to that tree, we'll go ahead and bring the foot back down. And then we're going to take a step back with that left foot, that diagonal step back. Arms are going to come overhead. Exhale, folding forward. We're just going to hold this for a moment. Reaching the crown of the head along. Arms are reaching up. Inhaling, bringing the arms all the way overhead. Step forward. Opposite foot will come back. And we fold forward, taking our bow. Inhaling, we come all the way back up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Pradmasana. From here, we're going to take a medium-sized step back with our left foot. Hips are square forward. On your next exhale, we're just going to fold all the way forward. Inhale, sweeping the right arm up for revolve triangle. If your gaze is overhead, go ahead and bring it forward. Now I'm going to have you begin bringing your arm towards your back. Walk your left hand forward just a little bit and begin lifting your left foot off of the ground. We're going to reach for that foot, taking a variation of a standing bow. Gaze is in front of you or on the floor. Right foot is reaching for the left. Right hand is reaching for the left foot. Releasing that hand down to the floor, taking a big step back with the leg. We're going to bring that left foot down to the floor, left knee down to the floor, adjusting yourself so that your front knee isn't too far over your ankle. On an inhale, we'll sweep the arms all the way up for Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Arms are overhead, reaching far back. On your next exhale, we're going to push the hips back. Send the torso over that long extended leg in front. Crown of the head is reaching forward. We're going to go ahead and begin to take that crescent lunge and runner's stretch on a flow. So inhaling, bringing the arms up, hips come forward, crescent lunge. Exhale, pushing the hips back, and we fold over the extended leg. We'll go ahead and do that a few more times. Exhaling as you push the hips back, inhaling as the hips come forward. Moving with your own breath. And we'll just take one more full breath here. Next time you find yourself in that runner stretch, we're going to push the front knee forward, coming up onto the back toes for a runner's lunge. Crown of the head is reaching long forward. From here, we're going to do something I've only done once before. We're going to drag our back foot forward, come down to that hip. And then begin situating yourself so that you can come into a spinal twist with both hip bones on the floor. Inhaling to raise the arms overhead. Exhale, taking a twist to the right. You can hug that knee in, or you can hook the elbow on the outside of it. On your next inhale, we'll begin untwisting. We're going to bring the hands down around the front foot and begin pressing up into standing, coming into that yogi bow position that we were in before. Inhale, bringing the arms all the way up. Exhale, bringing them right back down, planting the hands on the floor. We lift that back leg all the way up for a standing split. If you'd like, you can take your right hand to the leg. So you only have your right foot and your left hand on the mat. And dropping the hand to the mat. If it's not there, we're going to drop that back foot down, sweep that other leg back, and come into a downward facing dog. Taking any movements here that feel good. And then once you've centered yourself, we'll walk the feet all the way forward. Gonna bend the knees, inhaling, we're gonna round the back nice and slow, coming all the way back up to standing. Once you reach that standing position, bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears and then release them back down. Shoulder blades draw down along the back. Inhaling the arms all the way overhead, palms will come together, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Taking another breath. From here, we're going to take that medium-sized step back with the right foot, squaring hips forward. On your exhale, we will fold forward, dropping the hands to the floor. Inhale, sweeping that left arm up for revolve triangle. Just a few more breaths here. We'll hold this one for a moment. From here, we're going to bring our gaze back down to the floor. Walk our hand a little bit further forward. Bring our hips forward over that front foot. Begin bringing that back foot up. Reach for the foot. Left hand reaches for the right foot. We come into a new variation of a standing bow. And then nice and slow, we bring both hands down to the mat. We reach that back foot all the way back. We hit that runner's lunge and then slowly drop the back knee down. Inhaling, we bring the arms all the way overhead. Crescent lunge. Hold it here for a moment. Really sinking into the hips. And on your next exhale, we're going to push the hips back and fold forward over the extended leg, runner stretch. Crown of the head reaches far forward, spine is nice and long. Now we're going to take that flow between these two stretches. So we'll inhale forward, crescent lunge as the arms come overhead. Exhale, pushing the hips back, runner stretch. Go ahead and take that flow a few more times with your own breath. We have about 2 more flows with this movement. And the next time you find yourself coming into that runner stretch, instead of going into that crescent lunge, we'll bring that knee forward and come up onto the back toes. Hands are down around the front foot. Nice long spine, crown of the head reaching far forward. And from here, we're going to drag that back foot forward, coming down onto the outside of the right hip, sitting down on both sits bones, adjusting yourself so that you can be even on those sits bones, and inhale the arms overhead. Exhaling as you take a twist to the left, and again, you can hug that knee in, or you can hook the elbow on the outside of it. Bringing your hands wherever they're comfortable for this twist. On your next inhale, we'll untwist. And we're going to bring our hands around either side of that front foot and begin pressing up onto our feet. Inhaling, hands all the way overhead. Exhale, bowing down, bringing the hands all the way to the mat. Pop that back foot up, coming into your standing split. And then if you would like, you can bring that left hand to the left calf. And on your next exhale, we're going to bring that foot back down all the way back. Bring the hands down to the mat. Bring that other leg back, downward facing dog. Taking any movements here that feel good. We're going to go ahead and begin rolling the shoulders forward, coming into that plank, lowering down, whichever way you choose, coming into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back to downward facing dog. Begin walking the feet forward again. We're going to bring the feet all the way forward. We come into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Taking any movements that feel good here, maybe clasping the elbows in the opposite hands and swaying from side to side. On your next exhale, we're going to go ahead and bring your hands all the way down to the mat. We're going to walk the feet all the way back once more. When we reach that plank, we're going to drop to the knees. And then very slowly, we're going to keep our core nice and strong as we begin to lower down to the mat. Hips come down to the mat. Belly comes down to the mat. We keep our chest off of the mat. Bringing the tops of the feet down to the mat as well. We're going to begin reaching the hands back to start coming into locust. So we're going to go ahead and begin lifting the legs off of the mat. If you'd like, you can draw the heels all the way together and hold it right here. I'm going to give you some options. So you can stay right here, heels all the way together. You can stay with the heels apart if you would like. Or you can go ahead and begin bringing them together, apart, together, apart. If you need to come back down to the floor, to the mat, that's okay. Just come back up when you're ready. We'll do these a few more times. Taking one last one. And then we bring everything down to the mat. Chin comes down to the mat. I'm just going to try to rest those muscles, those hips, the glutes, the thighs. Taking a moment here. Drawing the hands underneath the chest, a little bit further in than the shoulders. Draw the elbows in. We're going to push all the way up into a knee plank. Push the hips all the way back. Extended child's pose. Inhale, bringing the shoulders back up. We're going to walk the knees in. We're going to cross the legs and then push back onto our bottoms. Want to make sure that you have enough room on your mat behind you or your head. If you don't, go ahead and scoot up a little bit more on the mat. We're going to bring the feet to the mat. We're going to do a squeeze boat here. That is not a technical term. It is a variation of boat, but we will be squeezing. So we'll try pelvic tap. We're going to lift our feet up off of the mat. If you would like, you can just hug your knees right here. Or if you'd like, you can draw your elbows around underneath your knees with the toes pointed up. Or you can try to straighten the legs with the toes pointed. Gaze is towards the toes. So if your toes are pointed up, your gaze should be up. If your toes are pointed forward, your gaze is forward. We're going to slowly begin rolling back onto our backs and then bring our feet all the way over our head into a plow pose. So lower the back down, use a little bit of momentum to bring your feet all the way over to your head. If you'd like, your toes can all touch all the way down to the floor, or you can keep them covered just over, or you can use a little bit more core strength, keeping your legs up parallel to the floor. If you would like, you can support yourself with your hands on your hips or your bottom, or you can bring the hands down to the mat. From here, we're going to begin lifting one leg and then the other one. So lift one, bring it down, lift the other one, bring it down. If you'd like, you can bring both legs up and then down, whichever you would prefer. And if you'd like to do these with a supported hips, you can bring your hands to your hips, or you can still keep your hands on the floor. We'll take one more on each side if you're doing every other leg or alternating legs. Two, or last one if you're doing both legs. From here, we're going to go ahead and roll back onto our backs, bringing the knees into the chest, just taking a nice little break here, maybe rocking from side to side. Bringing your hands underneath your knees, we're going to rock forward and backward. We'll rock a few times. And the next time you find yourself rocking forward, you're going to rock back into that squeeze boat pose. We're going to do the same thing again. You have those different options. You can hug the knees all the way in. You can put the hands underneath the knees and bring the feet parallel to the mat, or you can raise the feet all the way up. We're going to go ahead and begin bringing the feet down to the mat, and we're going to open the legs out, open the knees out to the side, coming into a bound angle pose. Sitting up nice and tall, exhale, folding forward, reaching the hands forward, maybe using the elbows on the outside of the shins to kind of press the spine even longer. On your next inhale, we're going to sit up and we're going to begin turning onto our left side. We're going to support ourselves on our forearm. Legs are straight. You can have toes pointed forward with feet flexed, or you can point the toes back. So on an inhale, on an exhale, we're just going to bring the leg up and then right down, up and down. We're going to do a few more of these. Exhaling through the mouth as you lift the leg, inhaling through the nose as you bring it down. We have two more lifts and lowers, and then we're going to lift the leg, lift it right here, and hold. Just breathing. About 3 more breaths. And exhale that one down. We're going to go ahead and bring that foot to the mat behind the leg. And then we're going to begin lifting that lower leg and then down, up and down. Same breathing. Exhale through the mouth up. Inhale through the nose down. Halfway there. On this next one, we're going to hold the leg up. Holding it and breathing, trying to make sure that you're keeping a relatively straight line between the torso and the leg, and that the leg isn't all the way forward. And exhale that leg down. We're going to come up onto our hips, onto that left hip. We're going to extend that right leg out, planting the left arm down into the mat, bringing the right arm long along the leg. On your next inhale, we're going to press up into our stargazer. Bring the arm all the way overhead, hips are up, come right back down. We'll go ahead and do that a few more times. If you find yourself traveling on your mat, that's okay. Just go ahead and resituate yourself whenever you need to. We have 2 more. And when we reach this next one right here, we're going to do that side. We're going to come into a half moon variation here. So go ahead and set yourself up so you feel secure on that left leg and left arm. You're lifting your leg up. Just gonna hold it here. And go ahead and bring it down. And we're just gonna switch right to the other side. Coming down onto the opposite forearm, extending the legs out long. Toes can be pointed or flexed. Exhaling up, inhaling the leg down. Exhaling the leg up through the mouth. Inhale, down. I said that really strangely. Halfway there. Making sure you're not sinking into that right shoulder. This next one, we're just going to hold the leg up. Holding it up and breathing. Trying to make sure that the knee is pointed straight forward and not up on a diagonal. And we can go ahead and bring that leg down, bending that knee, foot comes behind. Lower leg now, lift, exhaling through the mouth and lower, inhaling through the nose. Again, we want to try to make sure that the leg is in line with our torso and not pointing forward or on a diagonal. We have one more lift and lower, and then we'll bring that leg up and we'll hold it. Few more breaths. And exhale it down. And we're going to go ahead and come on to that side hip. We're going to set ourselves up for those stargazer lifts. Go ahead, and when you're ready, lift up into that stargazer and then right back down. Up and down. Just a few more times. We have one more. We're going to stay here this time. We're going to situate our right knee and right hand so that we can come into that half moon. Arm comes overhead, foot is flexed. I want you to go ahead and look down. Make sure you can see your toes and that your legs aren't weight. Your leg isn't weight. And go ahead and bring it down. We'll come down onto all fours. From here, we're going to slowly drop down into either cobra, and we'll need to bring the legs back, or we can come into upward facing dog. If you're in upward facing dog, really press the hands into the mat to elevate the crown of the head. And bring the knees to the mat. If they're not already there, we're going to push the hips back, coming into a short child's pose. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the torso forward, and we're going to begin pressing the legs back or crawling the arms forward, depending on where you are on your mat. We want to come into a Sphinx pose with the hips and the belly all the way down to the feet on the mat, coming up onto the forearms. One more nice full breath here. And then slowly we're going to bring the torso down to the mat, reaching the arms long. We're going to take the left leg and we're going to bring it out to the side on right angles. So imagine that you're making a set of stairs with your torso and your legs. From here, we're going to begin rolling away from that leg, gluing that toe down, rolling into a peace pose. Gaze comes to the opposite side. Relaxing all the muscles in your glutes and your hips. On your next inhale, roll back to center. We're going to come back into that stiff pose. We're going to reach our arms long forward, chin on the mat, and we're going to take our right foot out to the side. In those right angles, imagining that your right big toe is glued down. We're going to go ahead and roll away from that toe. Peace pose. Again, we want to really relax the muscles in our hip and our glutes. On your next inhale, begin rolling back to the center. Nice and slow. Just bring the hands underneath the chest, and then nice and slow, we're going to press up, pushing back into that child's pose once more. On your next inhale, we'll bring the torso up, begin walking the knees forward, cross the legs, push your bottom back, and then adjusting yourself so that you have room on the mat to lay down. We'll just go ahead and nice and slow, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing the spine all the way down to the mat. Coming into whichever position you find to be the most comfortable. Or right into that traditional Shavasana, lying flat on the mat. We'll take a moment to calm our minds and be with our own breath. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Begin making any movements that bring your awareness back to the here and now. And then slowly begin to roll onto your right side. We'll take a few more breaths here. And possibly still keeping your eyes closed, make your way up into a comfortable seated position. And we'll take a few more breaths together. And when you're ready, begin blinking your eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me today. The Divine Light in me sees and honors the Divine Light in you. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace be with you. Thank you.